The recent decline in Palestinian violence is not a response to Israeli gestures. Rather, it is largely the result of ongoing IDF operations in Judea and Samaria and in Gaza to uproot the terror infrastructure, the establishment of the security barrier, increasing violence between Fatah and Hamas, and the growing realization of the Palestinians that terrorism bears a heavy price. It is thus unsafe to say that future peace overtures and concessions on Israel's part will have different results until Palestinian society reforms from within. Since widespread reform has not yet happened, Israel must insist on preventing the prospective Palestinian state from having any arms or maintaining forces other than those responsible for internal Palestinian security and uprooting and preventing a terror infrastructure from taking root. But even a demilitarized Palestinian entity does not mean that Israel can afford to fully relinquish security control. In fact, as Prime Minister Netanyahu has said publicly on a number of occasions, there will have to be a permanent IDF presence controlling the border crossings, particularly on the eastern side of any future Palestinian entity. The last, but by no means least, change in Israeli strategy that this government considers critical is combating the incessant delegitimization of Israel that has been fueled equally by jihadist forces such as Iran, Hezbollah, and Hamas, as well as moderate elements, moderates in quotation marks, in the Palestinian Authority, as well as, unfortunately, radical or naive liberals. The notoriously biased, misleading, and vicious United Nations-sanctioned Goldstone Commission report proves the dangers that Israel and other liberal democracies face when forced to combat terror, particularly in heavily populated areas such as Gaza. Therefore, Israel must take every precaution that the areas that are included in a prospective Palestinian entity will not be co-opted and exploited by terrorists or other hostile forces. The final element that characterizes Israel's current policy is the emphasis it places on the national and historical rights of the Jewish people to the land of Israel. Without this component, arguments over security and borders have no context. For its part, Israel has been so preoccupied with peace on the one hand and security on the other hand that it has failed to remind itself and the world of the reason for its establishment in the first place, other than the Holocaust, and for its location in particular, Eretz Israel. That Israel has been the Jewish homeland since time immemorial is not only clear from the yearning of Jews throughout history, expressed in the phrase repeated during Passover and as the last words said on Yom Kippur next year in Jerusalem. It is also substantiated by endless and ongoing archaeological discoveries proving the existence of Jews in Israel for centuries. But these facts have been sidelined. Now is the time to put them at the forefront in the international political and public discourse, as Prime Minister Netanyahu has done it, as an integral part of Israel's security strategy.